Good morning. Welcome everyone. I'm Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. Today I have lots to share with you because a new month, the beginning of a new Stampin' Up! Year. There's lots that happened yesterday that I want to share, and I have my first Christmas card for the 12 weeks of Christmas. So every week from now on till Christmas, I will be making a Christmas card to share with you. All right, let's go down to my desk. Okay, lots on my desk today. You can see the flyer. First things, the starter kit special that Stampin' Up! Released yesterday for the month of October. If you have a wish list of $135, this would be a great time to join. You can join just as a discount shopper. You don't have to become a demonstrator and do classes or anything like that. But you pay $135 and you get $206 worth of any product of your choice. So it's a great deal. $71 of free product. So if you're thinking about that, you can contact me. I can walk you through it. It's very simple procedure. Stampin' Up! Never talks to you about being a demonstrator or forces you to do anything. You will get a discount, of course. That's why they call it a discount shopper. So it's a great time to join. So that's our special for this month. Okay, the next thing, all of our kits are on sale right now, up to 30% off. So some of the newer ones are 10% off, but there's a lot that are 30%. So you can check that out online. That's all online. And that's all this month, all of October. So it's a great time for a kit. All right, the paper pumpkin, which I have shared with you before, for October is called Nests of Christmas. You have to subscribe before October 10th, and that's the picture of the box. It coordinates with these dies. If you're interested, this is an add-on for the month of October, November, December paper pumpkins. That's the Mary is the one that coordinates with the October kit. November is that one. December is the Fern. There's the code 165639, and these add-on dies are $16.50. So if you're interested in that, also if you are brand new, never before, subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you will get 40% off this kit using a holiday code at paperpumpkin.com. You can go on there. It is new subscribers only. So if you have ever subscribed and used your email address, it will recognize you not as a new subscriber. So that offer ends October 10th for the 40% off. So you would get 40% off this kit. A great deal again. And I think it's going to be a really nice one. It coordinates with the Nests of Winter Suite collection, the birds and the paper and all that. Okay, so let's get started on our first card. Today we're going to make something, it's a simple card, but we're going to use the DSP to speak to us. Sometimes, sorry, that's my plate, just fell out of my Stampin' Up! Emboss machine. The paper we're using today is the Winter Meadow paper, and I have chosen the one with the deer on it. So that's my DSP piece. So let's start with the card base. The card base is basic gray. It is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So it'll be a top fold card like this, a 10 fold. So you need your card base. It can also be the standard 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, but I just decided to do it this way. Our DSP piece is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I also have another piece that I cut off the edge here that is 1/2 inch by 5 1/8. We also would like a layer of cardstock. This is Cherry Cobbler, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. So it's going to go on like this. You can see where this is going, and this is going on top. So like I said, we are making the designer series paper the star of the show. So that, and then put a greeting on it and finish the inside off, and we'd be done. I'm going to just add a little bit of a twist to it. We're going to emboss the designer series paper just to step it up a little bit. So when I'm embossing, I'm going to be embossing both of those pieces of designer series paper. You're also going to need some kind of a label in basic white for your greeting. And this is the one that I chose. And then a piece of white for the inside. I don't typically use the 4 by 5 1/4 piece anymore. I am using 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 for the inside. And I've got some ribbon and some embellishments to put on. So let's start, I think, by embossing our designer series paper. So I did bring in my stamp cut and emboss machine. I hope it's not too close. The problem is I'm a right-handed person, so I'm going to put it through this way. Hope you can see it. So we are going to use the brand new folder, Birchwood 3D embossing folder. So it looks like that, and it is big. It is 6 by, I know it's 6 because it's the same width as our machine, the big machine, and it is the same size as the plate pretty much. So it is a big one. So what I'm going to do is you're going to start, this is a 3D embossing folder, so you just need your number 1 platform, that's the big thick platform on the bottom, and you're going to use the gray specialty plate. But first we're going to open this up, and you can see how Stampin' Up! On a lot of these has a line, and because this is has the lines of the birchwood on it, I think you do want it to be fairly straight. So I'm going to put it in like that, and I want to also emboss my little strip along with it that's going to go on the inside. So it's I think an easier way for me to do this thing I'm balancing is I'm going to open it right up. I'm not going to worry about using that line. I'll just make sure I'm putting it in relatively straight, and I'm going to put it in like that and close it up. I just don't want this to move too much because I want it to be somewhat straight. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put it in. So number 1 platform, then your big embossing folder goes in next, and then the number 4 goes on top. Again for a 3D. And you just crank it through, and I'm probably going to wiggle the table a little bit in the camera. So I don't often do this in front of you, but I thought I'd show you today. Okay, so just take that out. And I will move my machine out of here. Don't need it again. And here's the result of that. I hadn't used this yet, this folder yet, so I thought I'll try it on this one. So I don't know if you can see, but it really is 3D-ish. Just gives it a lot of extra interest. Okay, I'm going to use my Tombow liquid glue, and I'm going to glue that right onto my cherry cobbler layer. Now this package of paper also has a piece with trees in it, and I'm trying to think what the other piece is. And it would look beautiful with any of these. And again, I chose cherry cobbler because I have the new cherry cobbler ribbon that I wanted to use, but it could be green behind it. You could have chosen any color that you like. All right, so there it is, just with that nice little edge of the cherry cobbler. I'm going to glue it right to the front of my card. So this is a quick and easy card. You can see you could make a few of these in no time at all if you had your pieces cut ahead. And then you would have a few Christmas cards made very quickly. All right, and I'll go ahead and do the inside. I haven't stamped anything on the inside, so I'm just going to glue this white paper in. I did use the nested essential dies for my greeting on the outside, and I'll show you how I did that. Now, I want to put this little strip of paper in here beside this, so I just kind of thought I would put it like, about like that, I think. So I'm gluing this in, and then I can glue this little piece of paper, designer series paper, right beside it. Should bring in my silicone mat here. It makes life easier if I'm making any messes here. There we go. And put this just along the side of the paper, the white piece. Make sure it's straight. Like, oh, squish the glue out of there. All right, so that's the inside. There's the outside. Looks pretty plain still, but I do like that we emboss that because it definitely gives it some interest. Okay, what I did is I had to look for a greeting that would fit into this die. And I used, these are the Nested Essentials, I said. This is the second from the largest banner that I used. But I didn't want the whole banner because I didn't want it to cover up too much of my card, the picture. So I decided that I would stamp the greeting. And I had to go back to a retired set to get these words. This is from the Itty Bitty Christmas set, if anybody still has that one. Thinking of you at Christmas. I stamped it on my white paper and then I cut it just near the bottom of the banner and just cut off the top because I just wanted it to fit right at the top like that. Okay. And I also am using the Cherry Cobbler and Gold new ribbon. Sorry, I put a piece of washi tape to hold the ribbon in here and now I can't get it off. It's there. So it's really pretty ribbon and it goes nicely with our card because of the Cherry Cobbler layer. So I just cut a piece and you can do whatever you like. I just thought I might just run this through possibly just like this and have the tails hanging out the bottom and have it at the top. So if I have it at the top, I can't have this sticking out too much. So just a little bit. I think that looks good. What I often do when I go to put on the ribbon on the back is I get my Stamp and Seal and I'll run just a little bit. I actually think I'll run it this way and then for sure it will stick down. And then I can just play with my ribbon a little bit. And then you can always reposition it because you can pull it off the tape. So if I just have to kind of fold it in half first. That is maybe the best idea. And then do that. I like the look of that. Okay, and then I'm going to put it up on dimensionals. I think it'll be fine. It's not sticking over the top of the card, so that looks good. And I will get some dimensionals here. See how many we need. I think maybe I will do one here and one here. I'll do 4, just so that it's supported well. Just had 4 left on that piece. Perfect. Okay, take your backings off. Like so. And I'm going to put it right at the top here. Now I could have put it over here. I wouldn't cover up these trees, but I kind of thought then it's sort of pointing at the deer. It didn't look right to me, so I liked it over here better. And I'm just putting it up there. What do you think? All right, so pretty simple, pretty easy card. And of course, out of your 12 by 12 paper, you would get 3 of these on one side and 3 on the other, because that was the sheet of paper. The deer ran along the bottom and ran along the top. So you would get 6 card fronts, which is awesome. But something else that's new that I thought maybe we could put on this card. I kind of thought this was sort of a masculine looking card with the deer. So I thought, I didn't want to put a bunch of bling on it, but I ordered these white loose snowflakes and they're kind of fun. They're, I'll maybe bring this back in so you can see them. They feel like rubber and they're different sizes. There's little tiny ones and there's bigger ones. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I take my liquid glue and I will just put some dots of liquid glue on here and stick them on. So do them in a random kind of pattern, I thought. And I thought I could put 5 might do it. And I didn't know if my Take Your Pick tool would pick these up. They're quite thick. I don't know if you can see, but they are quite thick and they do feel like rubber. So they're interesting little things. And I don't know, I haven't used them yet, so I don't know how well they're going to stick on here. And I was thinking some of them might be stuck together, but I don't think they are. So I'm going to do some big, some small. And I know these don't really show up super well. But, of course, whoever gets your card will get to experience them up close, right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 on there. What do you think? I don't know if... Here's another thought. Maybe Wink of Stella would go on top of those. I don't know whether it would or not. Let's give it a go. I don't know if we can jazz these up a little bit. Why not try? So a little bit of Wink of Stella on them to make them sparkle. And I know you can't see the Wink of Stella on the camera because it just, for whatever reason, does not show up all that great. But there we are. All right. So that's our first card for week 1. I will show you some other cards I did using the same technique, different paper, of course. And just look at your paper because we have a lot of paper. Now, this is another Christmas card. This is paper we had last year, but I'm sure you'll remember it. One Horse Open Sleigh, I think was called. So I embossed this one with the Snowflake Sky embossing folder. So it has the snowflakes and the little bumps on it. And that is, again, I just used Lost Lagoon on the back and I think Pool Party layer. And it's Merry Christmas, some retired ribbons, some retired gems from Our House to Yours. And again, I embossed that little strip and put it inside. So that's another one. And again, the paper does all the work. So not thinking of Christmas, we have other paper. I used the Flowering Zinnia paper for this one. So that was the paper again that the zinnias ran along the bottom and along the top. So you would get 6 card fronts if you cut your paper. So I embossed this with the Painted Texture folder. I didn't have any ribbon, so I used just a strip of the Blackberry Bliss. So this is Blackberry Bliss, Melon Mambo, and your paper. And Sending You Sunny Thoughts comes from the Trucking Along bundle. And then I put a coordinating piece of paper inside and Thinking of You. So that's not scenery paper necessarily, but it still works. So we do have a lot of beautiful paper that you could use for this technique. And these cards, as you can see, go together super quickly. So it'd be a really quick way to make a bunch of Christmas cards and get ahead. So week 1 and we're done. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then you won't miss next week's. Will be week 2, another Christmas card, and some other samples to share with you. Okay, I hope everybody has a super week.